Hello and welcome back to the WaderQuest library. Today's book is this one. It's a little unusual, so we'll leave it there and come back to it in a little while. As WaderQuest, we give a number of talks, and one of those talks is called New Moon on the Wane, the Curse of the Curlews. Now, of course, Curse of the Curlews refers to the fact that if you're unfortunate enough as a species to have curlew in the name, probably you're not doing terribly well. The first part of the title, New Moon on the Wane, actually refers to the genus name of curlews and whimbrels, Numenius, and most of those birds in that genus are suffering from diminished populations, therefore on the wane. Conventional wisdom has it that the word Numenius is a modern Latinized compound of two ancient Greek words, neos, meaning new, and mene, meaning moon, Numenius. It was in 1760 that Mathurin Jacques Brisson thought of these curlews and whimbrels as a discrete group of birds and decided that they should be given the genus Numenius together. But he didn't write this name, he didn't invent this name, he plucked it from an ancient Greek lexicon written by a chap called Hesychius. Now, in that lexicon, it didn't actually say that Numenius was a curlew. It said it was a type of bird. And scholars, being scholars, they thought about this, they looked into it, and they decided that because it mentions new moon, and the new moon is a phase of the moon, and the bill of the curlew being an arc somewhat resembles one of the stages of the moon, they thought that perhaps Numenius referred to the curlew. Some time ago, when I was writing that talk, I thought it would be a great idea to have a visual illustration of a new moon. So what did I do? I Googled it. I Googled new moon. I was looking for images that I could download to use to illustrate the new moon. I was somewhat perplexed, though, to find that the majority of the images that were labelled new moon were not what I expected. I expected this little slither, this crescent, which resembles the curlew's bill. What I saw instead was a largely blank screen, a dark disc with a very faint halo round it against the dark background. So I read on. New moon, it said. Astronomically speaking, the new moon is the phase where it is all dark. It cannot be seen with the naked eye at night from Earth. Well, I thought, well, what is the connection then between a new moon and the curlew's bill? Well, clearly in that case, none. So I read on because I noticed that there were a number of other images of the different stages of the moon. And the very next stage was exactly that little crescent that you would expect to see in relation to the curlew's bill. And it was labelled not new moon, but young moon. And this is where this little book comes in. It's called the New English Greek and Greek English Dictionary. My interest was piqued, so I decided to look up the translation for young. Here it is, he says. Here it is there. Young. Neos. Neos, isn't that supposed to mean new? So I went then to the next part of the book, which is the Greek into English, and I looked up neos. And what does it say? Young or new. So the next time you're in the pub with your mates, or around the table having a tea party, or perhaps listening to a talk at your club, group or society, and someone offers to you that Numenius means new moon, you will be able to interject and say, excuse me, but I think you'll find that Numenius actually means young moon. And I guarantee you will be the most popular person in the room. Trust me, it works for me every time. Well, that's all from the Way to Quest library for now. Ta-ta for now. And I'm going to look up how to say smart aleck in Greek.